36 in the second half. Can you talk about the way you defended, especially Dwayne Dedman with his 6 blocks?
Dwayne was fantastic. I think he changed the entire complexion of the game. His energy, the way he competed, he protected the paint, protected the rim. He and Willie were big for us off the bench, and that's what we've challenged our group to do. 1 through 15, you can impact the game. And everyone that steps on the floor is committed to playing defense, committed to keeping the ball out of the paint, and Dwayne and Willie really helped us off the bench tonight.
What was the key to finally slowing down Jason Smith? He had 19 points there with 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and then maybe 6 points the rest of the game.
Well, he hurt us last game also. Last game I believe they scored 113 points. Tonight, 83. A 30-point difference defensively is enormous for us, and we'll continue to emphasize that's where we win games, that's how we stay in games. So Jason Smith was great again tonight. A lot of those shots early were contested shots. They were not wide open shots. But we did emphasize second half getting to him with a stronger contest, not allowing him as much space, getting into his body a little bit more, just being a little more physical with him. In the first half, they ran around a little bit too easily. They got to run their offense. Second half, we picked up our pressure, got them out of their spots, and that was effective for us second half.
JV asked you this morning about Victor and Alfred going to the All-Star game, playing together. They really played off of each other well tonight. It seemed like they're setting each other up, cutting off of one another. Can you just kind of see the future, the way they're playing together better?
I thought they did find some rhythm offensively. We were in a rut there first half, and the way we've committed to defending, being unselfish defensively right now, we have to translate that to the offense. That's our next step. That's our next room to grow in, and being unselfish offensively, moving the ball. And I thought Vic and Alfred did that. Second half, they were more committed to moving the ball, driving it, kicking it to each other. When they're open, we want to find them, and we'll look at that here in the second half.
James, you've only had the team for a few games now. How will you use the break? Will you do some things? Will you look at film? Will you go on vacation? What will you do during the break to try to look at things or change what you're doing?
I'm going to enjoy some time with my family. I'm going to enjoy my kids. I have not seen them much, so I'm going to just love on them, squeeze them a little bit, and get some work done. We still have a lot of games to play, and this is just new for us. We've had one practice. We've done this with shoot-arounds, one practice, and games. So it's going to be very important for us to look at our schedule. We'll have 2 important practices post-break. So our focus will be, what do we want to accomplish in 2 days? You can't change your entire team in 2 days, but I think we can grow in some areas, continue to emphasize our defense, get better in that area, number one. Secondly, look at our offense, where we can help our guys in their spacing. We're playing some different rotations right now, so there's a few players that aren't as familiar with each other. And so we'll look at that here over the break.
James, do you have any additional word on Channing Frye? How he injured that finger and the severity of that injury?
I don't know how he injured it. It was a dislocation. They got it back in place, and he should be fine.
Have you seen some things now as a head coach that are different than what you saw as an assistant coach? Has anything, now being the guy in the chair, different how you look at the team?
For me, it's been a transition into learning the players on a different level, what type of rhythm they like, what type of substitutions they're comfortable with, and we're learning each other. It's my job to give them a base, and it's their job to execute and play within our team concept. And I think this break will be good for me and good for our entire staff to really look at that and evaluate our players, our rotations, and pick a few things that we want to emphasize coming out of the break that we feel like we can really accomplish.
Coach, Nick had another big game for you tonight. He hasn't been named to the All-Star game. Just talk about overall his consistency this year and just how important he has been to this team so far.
We're so proud of Nick. He's played so much more consistently than he has in the past, and on both ends of the floor. I know he's not a shot blocker, a rim protector, but the kid competes defensively. He rebounds the ball. He plays unselfishly. He's a threat for us inside. He makes his mid-range jumper consistently. And we're going to play through him. We trust him in the post. The ball's going to be in his hands, and he's much more comfortable. Where we have to find his spots now are with our spacing. We have to help him in our spacing, and we will do that. We'll figure out a way to give him the most space so he can attack and get to his spots.
Coach, with Dwayne Dedman, he fouled out in less than 21 minutes tonight, so that's probably going to be a problem. But the team obviously has to get better defensively. Could you see him being a big part of that if he can stay on the floor?
We're okay with him getting 6 fouls. It's that energy. He's flying around. We do have to be smarter defensively. We don't want him in foul trouble every night. But Dwayne is making it hard on us not to play. And we told Dwayne that. Every time he steps on the floor, we feel his presence. Our opponents feel his presence. And that's why he had 6 fouls. And he changes the foundation of our defense with his pressure, his energy, his hands, his activity. And he's challenging us to play him every night, is what I can say.
Could you play Nick at the 4? I mean, if you ever got to the point where you started Dwayne, could Nick play at the 4?
The way Nick shoots the ball, the type of skilled big he is, that's a lineup we can absolutely look at.
Everyone good? All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.